Branimal Farm presents.
Today we're going to talk all about what goats eat. So you've probably heard that goats can eat everything and anything. Tin cans, plastic, garbage. That's not exactly accurate. So goats are actually a little bit picky when it comes to eating, and they actually have a specific diet that they need to follow, or it can actually be dangerous for them. So let's review all of the things that your goats can eat and how you can keep them healthy. So I've got Marlena here with me today. She's one of our kids from this season that we're keeping. And she's been munching on hay and alfalfa pellets. So we're going to talk about that first. Hay is one of the main things in a goat's diet, and you need to make sure that they have a good quality hay. This means that it's a nutritious hay, like a high quality grass hay or an alfalfa. And it also means that it's not dusty, it's not moldy, and that it's not super stimmy. If you need more information about choosing quality hays and what goats eat in general, you can check out the link below. As I mentioned, she's also been munching on some alfalfa pellets. As you can imagine, alfalfa pellets are basically alfalfa hay smushed into little pellets. So they are like feeding hay, only they're just the best parts of the alfalfa, and goats love them for a treat or a snack. You do still want to make sure that you provide hay for the stems and the leafy forage that goats need for their rumen. The next thing that goats need is minerals and baking soda. These things should be left out free choice. So minerals they need just like humans do, and they'll eat those as they feel necessary. And the baking soda is to ease bloat and tummy problems. So we just leave small amounts of those out at all times, free choice, meaning they can take some whenever they need it. So let's talk a little bit more about specific things that goats cannot eat. So as I mentioned when I was talking about hay, I said we don't want it to be wet, we don't want it to be moldy, we don't want it to be dusty. So mold in particular is very dangerous for goats. It can cause listeriosis, which is a serious medical condition, and can actually kill them. So any feed that you're giving goats, you want to make sure that it is not moldy, it needs to be fresh. And goats are typically pretty good. Once they've taken their hay and put it on the ground, they'll sleep in it, but they don't usually like to eat it. They don't like dirty food or water. The next thing that we should discuss that goats shouldn't have too much of is grain. So they do make things like sweet feed and grain for goats, and it is okay to give them some of that in moderation. But you want to make sure that you're not giving too much grain. Grain can actually cause bloat, which is a very serious medical condition and can kill your goats. So small amounts of grain. So you definitely don't want to do things like leave your goats in an area where they can get into your chicken feed. That can be super, super dangerous. All right, so we've covered the basics that goats need and what they can't have. Let's talk a little bit about goat treats. So whether you just want to spoil your goats, or maybe you have a new goat who's a little bit scared and skittish, you can always use treats to kind of bond with your goats. And goats can eat a wide range of things. Some of our favorite treats to give our goats here are banana slices, so complete with the banana peel, pieces of apple, and even pieces of watermelon. But like I said, there is a whole range of things you can give your goats for things to give them as treats. If you want to know a little bit more about hay specifics, since that is the bulk of your goat's diet, you can check that out in the next video.